Today's Bible reading is taken from Mark chapter 6, verses 45 to 56. As you're listening, kids, I wonder if you can hear the answer to these questions. Diggers, where did Jesus go to pray? Was it a church, his room, or a mountain? Transformers, who did the disciples think they saw walking on the water? And Rooted, what happened as soon as Jesus stepped in the boat? Mark chapter 6. Immediately, Jesus made his disciples get into a boat and go on ahead of him to Bethsaida while he dismissed the crowd. After leaving them, he went up on a mountainside to pray. When evening came, the boat was in the middle of the lake and he was alone on land. He saw the disciples straining at the oars because the wind was against them. About the fourth watch of the night, he went out to them walking on the lake. He was about to pass by them, but when they saw him walking on the lake, they thought he was a ghost. They cried out because they all saw him and were terrified. Immediately he spoke to them and said, "Take courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." Then he climbed into the boat with them, and the wind died down. They were completely amazed, for they had not understood about the loaves. Their hearts were hardened. When they had crossed over, they landed at Gennesaret and anchored there. As soon as they got out of the boat, people recognized Jesus. They ran throughout that whole region and carried the sick on mats to wherever they heard he was. And wherever he went, into villages, towns, or countryside, they placed the sick in the marketplaces. They begged him to let them touch even the edge of his cloak, and all who touched him were healed. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Did you hear the answer to those questions? Where did Jesus go to pray? It was a mountain. Who did the disciples think they saw on the water? A ghost. And as soon as Jesus stepped into the boat, the wind stopped blowing. Next in our service, we're going to sing together, King of Kings, Majesty.